everyone. I'm Amanda McCarthy, the sports dietitian with Children's Hospital Colorado Sports Medicine Center. I'm part of your Healthy Huddle speaker series, and today I'm going to be giving you an option for a healthy, high-energy snack for your athletes. So we are going to be making energy bites today, and the type of energy bite we're making is Apricot Walnut Pepita. So this snack is going to be pretty high in iron, which is great for your young kids that are growing because iron is necessary for all systems in the growing body, especially the brain. And it's especially important for athletic performance because it delivers oxygen to those working muscles. This is also a really high energy snack. So it's great as a snack right before they go into exercise because the portion will be pretty small, but it should be pretty filling and give them lots of energy for their sport. So we're going to start, you will need a food processor for this recipe. And if you've followed my recipes in the past, you know that our first tip when we're getting started is to make sure you're washing your hands. So I've already washed my hands, but if you haven't, go ahead and do that. And then we're just going to jump right into the recipe. So with our food processor, we're going to start by pureeing our dates. Go ahead and put your dates in. I did do a rough chop on these dates so that they're broken up a little bit just to make it a little easier for the food processor. But dates are really, really high in potassium, which is an electrolyte that helps with fluid balance and it helps with muscle contraction. So it's really good for our health, especially athletes' health. We're also going to mix in our flax and chia. And then our sweetener. So on the recipe, it calls for either honey or maple syrup. I'm using maple syrup just because that's my preferred sweetener, but you can use honey if you like that instead. It does need to be one of those two options, so it's nice and sticky to hold our recipe together. And then we're just going to add a dash of salt. So I've got my salt shaker here. I'm just going to do 1, 2 little shakes, and that's going to be good. So then we put our lid on the food processor. We're only going to run it until it looks like the mixture is pretty smooth. All right, so let's take the lid off. Okay, we've got a really nice paste there. I'll show you a little bit what yours should be looking like. So if you can see a little bit of what that looks like, it should be a mostly smooth. It's going to have a little bit of texture to it, but mostly smooth paste that we're going to be working with from this point on. So we're going to add the rest of our ingredients next. We're going to add those main flavors. So I've got some, again, roughly chopped apricots here. Dried apricots are really high in iron themselves, which most people don't suspect as a fruit. But this is a great one to add in for more iron and more potassium. And then I've also got my walnuts and pepitas in this bowl as well. So we'll go ahead and add that into our food processor. And then my favorite ingredient of this recipe, dark chocolate chips. So just about a 1/3 cup of dark chocolate chips. This one's really high in magnesium, which also helps with muscle contraction. So we're going to add that in. Also happens to be delicious, which is great for this recipe too. And then our last ingredient is oats. So we're just going to add in dry oats into that food processor. And again, get it started again to get everything nice and mixed together. Okay, let's take a look and see what that's looking like so far. We may have to stir it down. You can see it's kind of piling up on the sides here. It's just because there's a lot in here. This is actually looking good. Okay, we're going to leave it like it is. Okay, so we're going to transfer all of this to a big bowl next. So just scoop it out. It's a thick, sticky mixture. So it takes a little bit of arm power to get it out into the bowl. It smells really good if you're making it. We won't need the blade in the bowl, so we're going to remove that in just a second. All right. Okay, so the next step is where we get kind of messy. So we're gonna roll these into little 1-inch balls. This recipe makes about 20 of them. What you could also do is if you're not super into the messy thing, you could take this and press it down into a 9x13 pan, refrigerate it, and then just cut it into bars. And that's a really easy way to serve as well. I like the balls just because they're kind of fun to make. So you're just going to take a pinch of the recipe. You're going to roll it in your hands, kind of squish it a little bit. And it just makes these easy 1-inch diameter balls. I like to put it directly into my Tupperware container just so it's all good to go. Because all we need to do after we make this is just refrigerate it. So here's another little ball. And these are delicious. They're really high in carbohydrate, which is why I say they're a really great pre-workout snack for athletes. They do get messy as you're making the balls, as you can imagine, but this is a great activity for your athlete to do. I mean, even young athletes could easily do this as long as you're okay with the cleanup afterwards. So again, this recipe is going to be pretty high in iron, gives a lot of good carbohydrates for your workout. Also provides some omega-3s from the flax, the chia seed, and the walnuts. So this is a great option for your athlete to fuel after school before they go to their practices. If you guys have questions, you're welcome to reach out to me at sportsnutrition@childrenscolorado.org. And I hope you enjoy your energy bites.